Hi, so my name is Tamara Martin, and I would like to take some time to speak to you guys today about government and their corruption, especially CPS, Child Protective Services. I have a ongoing case. Yesterday I went to court, and a judge had actually approved CPS's case to terminate my parental rights, me and my husband's parental rights. I've been married for 17 years. I have 6 children. We are a very, very happy family. Even CPS stated that out of their own mouth that my husband and our children had a very close bond, and that the allegations made by CPS were outrageous. I mean, just things that were like mind-blowingly crazy for them to come up with. They even went as far as to say that my husband had set me on fire before. They stated that and they had to send me off in an ambulance in the office, which is not true. Obviously, I've printed out all of my medical files and from the hospital that's in my county to show in court, because I am going to be taking them to federal court. On top of that, they actually went and they asked, as part of our case plan, for my husband to have an evaluation done. Well, when we paid $950 to have said evaluation done, when he got the evaluation done, the CPS worker actually got in contact with the woman who did the evaluation, the psychiatrist who did. The doctor's name is Dr. Capoletti, and she is a doctor for, I'm trying to think here what the name of the center is. Dr. Capoletti with Crossroads Counseling Center in Hendersonville, North Carolina. This doctor is very unlawful. We're actually building a medical malpractice suit against her, because her finding to begin with was that there were no recommendations and that he had passed the evaluation very well, and only after she spoke to the CPS worker, she actually put it in on his file in her wording. Dr. Capoletti put that after she had spoken to the CPS worker, Tammy Carpenter, that she had changed her opinion on the results and found that he needed psychotherapy, because Tammy Carpenter had told her that she believed that in his case file from when he was a youth, that one of his psychiatrists had came forward to her and told her that he was a narcissist, and that he had some kind of personality disorder, dissociative disorder, and all these other things. She also stated that we refused to take a mental evaluation and drug assessment, which we did complete, and had no referrals whatsoever. She told Dr. Capoletti, the social worker told Dr. Capoletti, that he was also an avid drug user, which is not true. He's on probation. He has to take drug tests for the probation officer. So if he was an avid drug user, I'm sure he would have violated probation by now. So, yeah, it's crazy. And the only reason why he has charges on him was he has charges on him from the same people, my brother, who made false charges against him. My husband had to sit in jail, even though we had every bit of proof proving that he was not guilty of the charges put against him. We had every bit of proof. They held him in court before he could even see a judge. It was like 4 or 5 months until finally my husband, and this was after my brother had already made so many false statements and got my kids taken unwarranted and without any proof whatsoever that the allegations were true. They still took my children. And so they arrested him, they kept him, they held him. So my husband finally wrote a letter to the DA and to his lawyers stating that he would plead guilty if they would let him out of jail so that he could deal with our case for our children so we could hurry up and get them home. Here we are, it's 15 months later, they're still not home, and a judge actually ruled yesterday to terminate our rights, even though we have done everything they've asked us to complete. And it's really ridiculous. It's sad. It's scary to know that they have so much power and authority, and that these judges out here are so scared and such little babies of CPS. It's very messed up. But also know your constitutional rights. Know your 4th and 14th Amendment. That way, you know, they broke my 4th and 14th Amendment, and I am taking them to federal court because they had no right to take my children without any proof whatsoever that the allegations were true. They have not proven anything in court yet to be true. So, actually, to our defense, it's been proven opposite. So, but as the CPS worker, Tammy Carpenter, had explained for Yancey County Department of Social Services, and her supervisor, Becky Davis, with Yancey County Department of Social Services, stated, they said, we don't have to prove anything. That's what they've told me. We don't have to prove anything. And so, yeah, I guess they think they're above the law, above our constitutional rights, but I'm about to show them really quick that they're not above the law. They cannot also, they pretty much tampered with evidence. They got a psychologist to change her opinion after she had already made an opinion on a psychological exam. So, yeah, an evaluation. So, you know, I've got a lot of evidence. She's also lied multiple times on stand under oath. And so, yeah, I'll come back on here, make another video, and talk to you guys. Keep updating you. My lawyer has appealed the decision. Also, they had the court date yesterday without the guardian ad litem present, even though our lawyer, me and my husband's lawyers both had kept saying to the judge, like, Your Honor, we can't have this proceeding without the GAL. And the judge just was like, oh, you two are whiny, you know, let's move on. But yeah, so this is what's going on so far. Also, they took my son out of the foster home that he was staying in with my other 5 children, my oldest son, and the reason why is because since the beginning he has told them that he doesn't like them. He thinks that they're messed up people. They take kids that are from mommies and daddies that love them and put them somewhere that doesn't care about them. And that was his opinion since the beginning. And so I guess they got tired of his attitude towards them, so they sent him off to a home. And her explanation in court yesterday was actually making fun of him. He lives in a house, which he's complained about before multiple times, that he was being abused in the house by teenage boys. They're 16, 17-year-old boys who hit on him, kept him up all night, and cussed him out, stuff like that. Well, she said that she had supposedly caught each other, in her words, giving each other a blowjob. My son and another boy. And so I'm guessing they sent my son away to a pray away the gay camp. Because she had no other reasoning whatsoever besides that my son got upset afterwards at them. I'm not sure. And plus, on top of that, she stated that these were just allegations. She didn't know. So, yeah, my son got sent off to some kind of campus for misbehaving youth, whatever. I really need people's support. I don't think that it's right that my son be treated the way that he is being treated. I mean, even say if he is homosexual, what is bad with that? Why should they treat him like he's an animal for being so? This is 2019. I thought we were beyond that. But obviously we're not, and they're treating my son like an animal. So, yeah. Thank you, and like I said, I'll be back on here, like, comment. Alright, bye.